All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm taking on this backpack action camp. The temps are going to be 95s to 98 degrees right in there. Nights will be maybe 70 if we're very fortunate. Basically, this is a fifth or sixth time I've probably done this trip. We're going to have 21 men and boys going. This is a Royal Ranger activity for one of the district camps. I enjoy this stuff, and I'm 65 years old, and so I'm preparing for this. One of the things that I go through is always pre-pack my gear and have it all ready a day or two before, so I can check my gear out and make sure that it's good to go. Some of the things that I put, of course, I've got a down sleeping bag. That's the only sleeping bag that I take. Whether it's hot or cold, whatever, I just take that. If I don't need it, I don't use it, but I lay it out. In the middle of the night at 3 in the morning, I may pull it over the top of me. So that's kind of what I bring. It weighs 2 pounds, so it's basically really light. I'm not bringing 3 canisters of gas. That's just what I had and some stuff there, but I will bring 1 canister, make sure that's got gas in it. Then I have a pot for boiling water. I have another pot for more in-depth cooking. I'll probably go with a little lighter pot right there, and of course knife and spoon. A little reflective tape. I'll show the boys about reflective tape, and there's a stove in there. I probably have a couple more stoves or mini stoves in that one as well, but I will only bring 1. First aid kit, I'm going to go through the contents. These are 2 or 3 years old. I'm going to go through the contents, check them out, and make sure that I have a good complement. TP with some biodegradable soap. A hat, put on my head because the sun will be beating down on us. I have a knife with a metal match, snake bite kit, just a temperature, just to share with the guys what the temperature is. Headlamp with extra batteries. Eyeglass cleaning kit, some of the tape that is just dynamic tape. Of course, a compass, pair of pliers, and a little paracord. A small backup knife for cutting if I needed to, and then a blanket, or not a blanket, but a emergency blanket, and a towel for wiping my feet off. Between that will hang on my pack on the outside. My pack is an Arc'teryx Bora 80. I've had this 10, 12, 14 years. I don't know. We're also going to be having some gear in there that I'm going to be putting in. I'll be choosing between a CamelBak or a real light duty backpack. I generally keep my my survival kit and stuff like that in the vehicle in the CamelBak. So I may just strap that on the outside on the back and go with that. I'll try and keep my weightage to about 30 pounds. I do have 2 water filters. These are Gravity Works. They are the Platypus Gravity Works, and they're gravity flow device. And the first time you get this out, if you don't service this before, you'll have 25 guys, 21 guys who don't want water, and you won't be able to produce water. So I've learned that, I put them away clean. They're always serviced. I have 2 of these. I'm going to be doing the same thing with the next one. But I have 2 of these. I wipe them off, clean them out, and then I saturate it with water. And whenever you open that valve, of course, that shoots water like crazy out through that, right? Okay. Well, the only problem with that is, let me put that nipple back on there. The only problem with that is that filter has been sitting there for a while, and it's sitting there, and there's no, I'm going to open this up. If the filter was brand new and sitting there, I may get something to flow through it. But as these age, and they're good for like 10,000 gallons of water. So once you get them serviced and get them flowing, you're good to go. So what I do with these is I make sure that they're going to flow water and get them going. I have yet to replace one of these, and I've literally taken these for 10, 12 years, hundreds and hundreds of gallons of water through them. But in fact, they're such a good filter. I've had 4 or 5 of my friends buy them and put them in their pack because they're a good deal. So what I'm doing is I'm pre-filling this filter, saturating it, I'm backflowing it, going exactly with clean water to get the crud to go through it. And what I'll generally do is service that 2 or 3 times with this process and get this to where it opens up and flows. Otherwise, like I said, you'll be sitting there, everybody's wanting water, and you can't produce any water. So you want this thing to be serviceable and ready to go when you hit the road. I switched the backflow from the flow back to the other side. And as you can see, it's just now starting to drip through there. And so we'll clean this up, and we'll reverse it and hit it again. All right. What I do is I'll rinse out a couple jugs of this. Yeah, just rinse them, both of them, clean them out. clean the outside, clean all the exteriors, of course, and then I'll fill this with clean water. This is the clean reservoir, and then I'll back flush out of this. The dirty water always keeps dirty water in it. I don't worry too much about it because it's not nothing too much affected other than that I can see that water will perk through it. What you do is you get silt and things that build up in these things and get dirty. You want this is your water, so you want to be good and take good care of it. So I'm going to hook it up to this other filter and you get both of these per. Okay, I just hooked this up. I haven't run any water through it. I'm going to open this up and see if we get any flow going through it right off the get-go. This is a little bit newer filter. I've opened it up, but it's basically doing the same as the other one. And, you know, it'll just sit there and it'll saturate your water. Go in there, and of course I've got clean water coming down with head pressure. And it's going down through there, and it will start filling this up. But this is the nature of these animals as far as that goes. And you can see it's starting to drip just a little bit faster. And when I get down with it, they'll be flowing good and clean. And I just have to back flush it on the trail whenever I'm doing it. Always almost back flush every time I filter water. Take some of the clean water that I filtered and back flush it just to clean any sediment out. But you have to work with these a little bit and get them going. It sure beats pumping. And there you go. Well, these have been really stored for a year and a half or better. Probably maybe 2 years. I'm not really sure the last time I knew we used them on the last back 2 years ago. Probably used them since then, but I'm trying to remember when. Anyway, they are really slow to perk. I mean, they're just not hard to get anything in there. So it's dribbling a little faster, but it's sure taking its time. And if I had guys that are wanting to drink water out of these at a drip a time, and I got 21 guys, I'd be in trouble. So this has been going on for about 15 minutes. And so it'll start flowing, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I'll have to make some other arrangements. But anyway, there it is. And I'm glad I checked this out before we got down to the river. Okay, packing your gear is the next thing. The biggest in the pack first. And smaller goes in after that. So I've got a sleeping bag, a cook kit, chair, a little mini cot, a hand axe, a saw, a inner tube that we use in a fan, and a tent, and a pad, and a pack cover that's doubles as a rain suit. So that's kind of what I got going. Optionals are the tarp, and maybe not so much of the saw, the tools and stuff. And I may not leave that little bivy sack, that silk nylon bag. They're nice whenever you're crawling into it at nighttime and just wanting to keep your hot, sweaty body off each other. So your legs, getting sweaty. So anyhow, there it is. And we'll get this in the pack. Sleeping bag first. All right, it's 1:36. I went uptown for a couple hours and came back and found my filters dripping. They're both dripping about the same amount. That's the same bag that's been filled, so what? It probably hasn't had 4 ounces of water flow through it, if it has in 3 hours. So anyway, I checked online, found I've got a backpack in 2.5 days, so didn't really have time to have anything shipped. So Bass Pro came to the savings stock that they had, and I had 2 on the shelf, so I took them. They were $75 a piece, right at that, and so I took them, and I'll hook them up in here. But anyway, these filters have been a mainstay for me. I've given out hundreds and hundreds of gallons of waters with these things over the years. That one over there is probably 3 years older than this one, and I used it a bunch, and then I found, well, this is a good product, and it's an American-made product, and it works. And anyway, the last time we were backpacking, I noticed it was being slow, so I wanted to check it. And so these filters are basically plugged, and I put them away dry. I keep them from freezing. store them inside in the winter months. So if you look at them, they basically look new. I don't give these out to the boys to take to the river. They bring them back up to me, so I take good care of them. And the only thing that goes to the river is the dirty bag. And then they bring it back to me, and then I generally hook it up. I will say, I have had one of the leaders hook it up in reverse action, and so you might keep just a little bit of bleach water, a little bit of bleach in a little bitty bottle, or maybe some tablets that you could put in there if you ever had to, clean it and backflush and clean it. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to go ahead and drop a little vinegar down in one of the bags and let it flow through there and see if it makes any difference. Like I said, I have the two new Platypus filters, and these will be going with me. But I'm just curious if I can clean them up with just some white vinegar, just some white distilled white vinegar. Basically, it's harmless, but it will get rid of some corrosion on plumbing and piping. So we'll put some of that in there and see what happens. All right, I took a little distilled white vinegar, put a little water in it, and I've got them perking through those filters. Those filters had 2 hours of water on them, and they were just dribbling. So we'll see what the vinegar water does to them, and find out what it does to them. So there it is. If all else fails, give it a good washing and put the new filters in line.